Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, a very good defense will be on the field. The Texans are top 10 in fewest points allowed, and they'll be up against a Niners offense that wants to prove it can do some damage. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and NRG Stadium in Houston. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick of the 2008 draft, the man they call Matty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
right? 2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. He got 29 yards that time.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards him.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And hang on here. It's the captain of their offense, Matt Ryan, shaken up and remaining on the ground. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. So Ryan out, getting looked at on the sidelines. And now all eyes here on the backup as he takes under center. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15. Off the play fake, here's Dobbs. And that is incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They'll run for the first time with Hill. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Okay, work with me here. Make sure I'm clear on this one. Inside their own 10-yard line, and they run a toss play. I know it works, but ordinarily that takes a lot of chutzpah to do something like that, because only thing more dangerous is trying to throw the ball in that situation and maybe taking a big loss.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Time running out here on the play clock. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Now a stoppage here for an injury. And, oh, boy, that looks to be the quarterback, Watson. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Texans send the punter out. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. He'll take this inside the 40. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On 2nd down, Dobbs. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, here's Dobbs. He finds Coates complete. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And to give this time to the tailback. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of it. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention. He deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you got a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
On fourth down, Kyle Shanahan will send out the field goal unit. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And before we can get to the field goal try, time will run out. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good start. They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. On second down, Hill. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now it's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. A good pickup there of 20 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
On second down, Hill. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here's Watson now on second down. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Dobbs is throwing. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his 3rd.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, we'll send you to Orlando and Larry Ridley as he'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. But no touchdown. These guys need to give Larry some touchdowns to talk about. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This will be fielded at the 17. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. Oh, he's got a little daylight. It's a foot race. The 20, 10, touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Texans defense heading back out now, ready to get their cracks again. And they've created a major first-half storyline with the pressure they've been able to create.
And I know that the good teams adjust from series to series. They make their adjustments on the sideline before they go back out. In this case, I think they might need a little bit more time. They want to get to the half and start figuring out how do they change protections, how do they get the ball in the hands of the passer a lot quicker, make sure he doesn't get hit as often. All those different things. Maybe even run the ball a little bit more. Anything to try and tamp down the pressure.
And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. On first down, Dobbs to throw. And some room to work. Room to run. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. of the gun, Dobbs. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Dobbs now on second down. And Dobbs is going to be swallowed up as he'll go down. Jadeveon Clowney. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Now Dobbs. And he's going to go down again. Jadeveon Clowney. Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go. What? 90. What? 90. 53 is the mic. Watch the out. Ohio.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. To throw on second is Watson. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
Let's go. What? 9. Ohio.
The final shot before the break. Watson trying to lay one up deep. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA. And hello, I guess Larry's halftime show was buttoned through, and we are moving on and ready to go for the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
On second down, here's Watson. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively.
Come on, let's go.
Out of the gun, Watson. Oh, going deep here for Taylor. And got his man complete. They chalked that one up as a gain of 34 on third down.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the first down and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
On first down, it's Gurley. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Let's go.
To throw on second down, Watson. And he slings one that's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Flex round. Let's go.
Watson now on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. He's going to fire one deep up. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Darren Lee in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now Dobbs got his man complete over the middle. It's Higgins, and they'll bring him down right around the 13. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Niners on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw Dobbs. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to 4th down.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It's taken to the 26. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. They haven't had to rely so much on the passing game. It's really been a team effort in the running game that's kept them successful and has them in the lead.
I like that, too, the team effort, because when I was growing up, one guy carried the football, right? You stuck it in his chest 20 to 30 times a game, and he was the heavy volume, heavy dose guy. Now, you spread it around, different people touching it, and in this game, it's proven to be effective.
And spreading the wealth has been very effective. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd down following the run. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's Watson. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And he fields it cleanly. Dances by him. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down. Throwing here, Dobbs got it complete to Rodgers. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. Here's Dobbs to throw. It's caught. Corliss, left side. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Chris Wormley in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Dobbs to throw, and he finds the tight end Rodgers. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Again, they run with Gurley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Watson to throw on 3rd down. Time for a break. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Back to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passers. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying...
Touchdown, 49ers! Deshaun Jackson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
And touchdown, and congratulations, and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Right side caught by Jackson. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Back to throw. Brought in by Coates. He got 29 yards that time. First down now, but that clock rolling. He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Jadeveon Clowney in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The 49ers moving hastily. They're scurrying to the line. They'll look to throw. And this is caught by Jackson. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch taken here at the 5-yard line. Interesting. They are on to the 4th quarter in Jacksonville. And the Ravens have wound up winning that football game. If they hold on to victory there, would be their 3rd of the year. One last throw here for Watson. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for San Francisco, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Houston, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.